where my grandparents lived. And so we'd go there all the time to visit grandma.
Yeah, I love
small world.
Bell's Brewery. Yeah, my early 20s were around kind of breweries up and down. So it was like between Founders and Bell's. But yeah, I had a lot of friends in Kalamazoo. So
yeah, wait, if you know Michigan, do you know Holland, Michigan? Okay, so I say Grand Rapids because most people would know that point on a map, but Holland is where I'm from.
Oh, okay,
so I grew up on the.
Okay, yeah. So so I used to go to St. Joe, and then you go up or up the lake to usually Holland, and then kind of swing back around. But New Buffalo, St. Joe, that's great.
Wow.
Well, I mean, technically, I grew up in Elkhart, Indiana, which is right next door to South Bend. But unless you're in the RV world, you don't know what Elkhart is. But everybody knows what South Bend is, particularly because of Pete Buttigieg, who recently ran for the presidency. So good to know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What a small world. Yeah, the Midwest is very different than, I know you're in New England right now, right?
Yes.
And I'm in Virginia. The Midwest is very different. We escaped.
We
Good
did.
job.
We did. Well, so that's where my question comes from. I'm curious on your Midwestern upbringing and whether or not how it has affected what you're currently doing now and your current outlook. For good or bad either way, but how has the Midwest, I guess, kind of changed and adapted how you view things, particularly now that you're on the East Coast?
Yeah, great question. I would say I definitely felt like a black sheep growing up in the Midwest. I am not your traditional Midwesterner.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people, if they are not familiar with the Midwest, there is a large community of very good, honest, hardworking people, but they are workhorses. All they know how to do is work. And, I think one of the secrets of business is how do you work smart, not just work hard. Work ethic's important, but how do you work smart? And so I would say benefits of the Midwest, I absolutely have this hard-bred, in-wired, get the job done, work until it's done, just like, yes, there's nothing else to do up there. It snows all the time. You work. So I'm very familiar with that grind, but I also have come to realize that the Midwestern culture is just honest. They're honest people. They're genuine. They're authentic. They are just, I guess, really, I'm searching for a better word, but the word is honest. Mm-hmm. They are very candid. They are very authentic with their kindness, and they are authentic with their rudeness. They are authentically who they are. And so I think sometimes as I've lived down south, there's a little bit of Southern charm and maybe a bit more hospitality, and you almost have to vet someone to see, okay, is that authentic? But in the Midwest, we're just authentic people. It's why my parents don't walk around with very light colored, straight-legged jeans and New Balance white tennis shoes. We're just authentic. It's not about saving face or showing the designer. I didn't even know what a designer bag was until I lived in one of the big cities. I had no clue what a designer bag was. We just got our stuff from Target. We're very humble, grounded people. I think that would be the strength that I've taken, is that authenticity from the Midwest. I think the probably challenge has been learning you can't just work hard. You have to work smart.
Yeah.
I already was different than the Midwest. Stay in one place, stay in your comfort zone, don't do anything outside of the box. I was already very different from that. I love to achieve. I love to see what's possible. If I can jump this high, being a 5'3" human, I'm going to jump that high. If someone can jump higher than me, I'm going to jump higher than them. I just love to achieve and see what's possible. So I did not get stuck in the day-to-day, oh my goodness, blah, 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 of life. But I absolutely did get trapped in work hard. That's not the solution. You have to work smart.
Yeah. Good. So talk to me about fear and how you've overcome it. I mean, obviously your journey is one with ups and downs, particularly with debilitating injuries. So how throughout your life have you approached times that you were fearful, and how have you gone over those?
You do it afraid. It is literally that simple. And that's something Sejal taught me. You know, when I was moving back down from Michigan to be able to live down in Virginia full time after the injury, I think something that maybe people don't realize is I didn't do anything like a normal adult would have to be responsible for 18 months. I had not done grocery shopping. I had not had to fill up my car with gas. I had not had to manage any of the adult responsibilities for 18 months because my whole responsibility was to heal then. So when I came down to Virginia, the level of fear of, am I going to be healed enough to just do normal human adult things was so real. It's just as real as the fear I felt with the last couple weeks of investing time learning from Pedro Adeo on how to do Facebook ads and ClickFunnels and challenges. These fears of, am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to do it? What if I fail? What if I waste money? What if I don't succeed? What if no one wants it? No one wants my product. What if no one responds? Like, am I good enough? Like, these fears are all consuming if I let them be. And I've simply had to learn not to. And if you look at my roots, it's very fear-based. You know, there's a lot of people in my family, generations before me, that were bound by fear. And that's why you see their incredible art that they did hanging up in my grandma's house, not on display in a bunch of millions of people's houses. Not that my family line was without talent. It's just I haven't seen very many of them master fear. And so that was the first thing Sejal worked with me on was, Kristen, if you feel fear, do it afraid. You take 10 seconds of courage and you choose to put yourself in action and you go. You only need to be unafraid for 10 seconds. Choose courage and then get moving, because fear is self-evident appearing real. We all feel it. Sejal, in the prime of her life right now, feels fear. The only two categories of people that don't are toddlers and psychopaths. And neither of us are qualified. So we all feel fear, and to normalize that, make it normal. And the solution to fear is action. So that's how I handle it.
Yeah, very cool. So with everything that you have done and experienced in your life, what would you say has been the best advice that you've ever received?
Awesome question. I have had, over the course of my whole life, people point me towards finding a mentor. And it's from my parents who, growing up, they knew what they could provide for me. They knew what they couldn't provide for me. They literally connected me with people that could mentor me. It was from my dance career that anytime I wanted to achieve and go forward and get better, I found someone that had the results and was willing to coach me. I paid them through the nose, and I did whatever I had to do. Like, if I was looking to move forward towards a goal, the actual vehicle that gets me from point A to point B is not a business opportunity, is not more work, is not more studying. It is finding someone that is at point B that is willing to come with you where you are at point A and help you move to point B. And I did the same thing in business. And I find it so interesting now that I am in more of the corporate setting as well. I, half foot in the entrepreneurial space, half foot in the corporate space. I'm finding that concept of pursuing someone that has results to learn under them is so foreign. It's like this dog-eat-dog world in the corporate sector. And I'm saddened by that. But I have consistently had this habit of just humbly going to the person that has results, finding if they'll let me sit at their feet and learn from them, and then apply everything that they say. And so I've lived and built my life on that principle of finding someone with results. And I don't mean results just in business, results in their personal life, results in their financial picture, results in their stress level. I mean, when you look at finding a mentor, you want to look holistically. And then doing and applying everything that they say, even if it rubs you the wrong way. Because a lot of maybe perspective or coaching I've not liked when I first got in it. Because it called me out and I had to humble myself, evaluate, and realize, you know what? They only want the best for me. That's why I hired them. So I'm going to humble myself, hear what they're saying, and see if there's any realness to it. And guess what? Every time there was. I'm so appreciative for the people in my life that have cared the most for me to tell me the hard truths and help me see blind spots, because those are the blind spots that were holding me back. And I think that's the value of having, whether you call it a mentor, a coach, older friend that can help guide you. I don't really care the label you put on it, but someone that is ahead of you, giving them access to speak into your life is the best advice I'll give, because that'll take you where you want to go.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Kristen, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it. If the
You're
listeners,
welcome.
Oh, of course. If the listeners would like to follow you more or see what you're up to online, where is the best place they can go for that?
Sure. So right now it's going to be Instagram. I have a lot of fun. I like to just capture my life and, let people see what does a day in Kristen's life look like. Mm-hmm. And so Instagram, I am at ballerina.entrepreneur. And maybe you can do some cool tech stuff and drop a link below.
I always do. You kind of beat me to the punch. So yes, I will I will drop a link so that listeners can click right through and then follow you on Instagram.
Awesome.
So that's wonderful.
And we're building out a website right now. It's not finished yet, but once that is, I'll make sure that is in the bio. So even if people in the future are listening to this, go find me on Instagram, hit me up in the DM, say, hey, introduce yourself, tell me what your art is, tell me what you're excited about, what your vision is. And I just like to connect with people. Mm-hmm. I think authentic human connection is so rare. And that is one of the things that I love to do. And, you never know where that leads.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And especially nowadays, it's even more difficult to have some authentic connection. So that's fantastic. That's what you're looking for. Great. So again, Kristen, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. You too.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Advance Your Art podcast. If you like this episode, please go into iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button so that every single time I release a new episode, it will go directly to you without even thinking about it. If you're interested in hearing older episodes, please go to advanceyourart.com where you can find the catalog of everything I've done so far, as well as contact information and projects I'm working on. Thank you again, and have a great day.